And we're back for another episode on Winning Wednesdays. Sometimes I even forget to call them that. So remember, they're Monday minutes because everything's like 5 minutes or less, or maybe 7 if I go over. Winning Wednesdays because the only goal of today's show is to listen, apply, and then implement into your life or into your business. And then, of course, Fridays. Free for all Fridays, where we take everything, we take the hinges off the door, basically, right? But today's Winning Wednesday was probably one of the most transformative lessons that I've ever learned in business that I carry with me forever. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story, right? So when we think about like my life, and if you've listened to my life, it's an interesting one. Lots of extremes, world records, crazy CrossFit stuff, physical feats, things like that. I look back at my entire life with health and fitness. And one of the biggest mistakes that happened in my life with my health and fitness is that I always only looked at the next finish line, not the entire race, right? So what do I mean by that? Meaning there were a lot of times where I'd be like, okay, I want to tie a world record. So I'm going to train every single day to tie the world record till I tied it. But then I was like, what's next? And I never knew what was next. So then it would lapse down, right? I'm going to start CrossFit, but what am I really going for? What comes after CrossFit? What comes after, right? And so I think about it. And there were always roller coasters in my health and wellness and fitness journey. When you think about my water intake, with my sleep, my supplementation, my macros, my movement, was it running? Was it cross training? Was it whatever? It was dictated by the moment. And it was dictated by the moment because I was responding to my circumstances. I was responding to what was around me and reinventing myself to meet those, but never holding a vision for once I met those circumstances or once I utilized that energy or momentum to create a result, what would come next. And so then I was always left with what our friend Christine Hassler calls expectation hangover, right? She wrote a book on it called Expectation Hangover. But then I would do like this reflective period, and then what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's just something interesting I noticed. I was on this one journey that was right in front of me, right? I was like, I'm going to tie the world record for a standing box jump. So for 7 months, all I did was train, jump, mobility, explosiveness, flexibility, leg work, and everything until I tied the world record when I was in Afghanistan. And then I moved on to the next thing, but the next thing wasn't right there. And so I kind of just lollygagged through my fitness. I checked a box, I did everything, but there was never that big pull because I had never bothered to sit down and ask myself, like, okay, we're playing a game of chess. This is the long game. I'm going to have 100 years on this planet. This is fun. This is an awesome goal. This is an awesome thing to work towards, but this isn't the finish line, right? And so now where I am in my life, I realize that it doesn't matter to me whether I tie a world record, whether I'm a competitive athlete, whether I can lift 1,000 pounds or not. My goal is strength, functional fitness, health, recovery, eating clean, like treating my body like a well-oiled machine. And it's so easy now because I am so clear on that vision that I have no problem getting up at 3:30 a.m. or eating clean, and cravings are gone and all of those things are gone, right? Now, the difference is that now I have a mentor in my life who not only knows where I am, but knows where I want to go. And so when there's times that I can't think about where I want to go a year from now, 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, they keep me on track to hit my goal today, to do the small things today that are going to help me get there, and then reminding me of what that big vision is. And so fitness and health seem easy to me now, which is what brings us into today's episode when we think about your customers in your customer journey. And so I titled this episode, One Thing to Simplify Marketing Forever, and I opened with what was the biggest lesson that I learned or something that I learned and I implement taking forward. And the one thing that you can do to simplify marketing forever is to know where you're taking people. But there's a big distinction here. When you think about your customers or potential customers, every single touch point that somebody has with you or your business is a part of a customer journey. It is either moving them one step closer to their goal through you, or one step further away from you, which might even be putting them on a path to their goal. But one of the mistakes that I made for a long time that I see a lot of other people make is they have a customer and they're going to sell this course or they're going to sell this product. And then all they think about is that front end journey. Okay, they buy the product. But what happens when they complete that product? What happens when they've used it for 20 days? What happens when they've achieved one of the 4 goals that you promised but need help with the rest? Not enough people take the time to map out what that customer journey looks like or what that destination looks like, not only to where the customer can see they're going to go, but where you know they're going to go in the next 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24 months. And it doesn't mean you have to build anything per se. It means you have to know. You have to think about it. Because when we find our customers are normally only able to see to their next touch point or their next goal or their next win, right? Like they might want to lose 100 pounds, right? But if you say like, okay, we're going to lose 100 pounds today, we're going to lose 100 pounds today, it's not going to work. All they're going to be focused on is moving for 10 minutes today, drinking water and eating clean. Your job is to hold the 100-pound vision, while their job is to do the work and the small things every day to get them there. And so when you think about your job on social media, email marketing, through your products and through your offers, just like everything in marketing, your job is to take your customer, your viewer, your subscriber, your follower, whatever label you want to give them, your family member, because these are beating hearts on the other side of your marketing, on a journey from point A to point B, one step closer to their goal, while being one step deeper in a relationship with your brand. Because you see, when there's a customer journey happening, there's really 2 things that are happening. Number 1 is they're progressing, right? Like I said, they're either moving forward or they're moving backwards, right? And they're progressing towards their goal. But they're also progressing in their relationship with you and your brand. And these are 2 very important distinctions, because people only buy or take action or enroll into things or businesses or products or services with people that they trust, people that they feel safe with. And so all of this has to be there. And so think about it. When you think about a customer, somebody comes in, most of our customers, even if they're thriving in life, they're coming to us because they have a problem or a challenge, and we have a solution for that problem or challenge. And so a lot of the times, and you can think about this for yourself, when we're overwhelmed, when we get stuck, when we get confused, we just want somebody to tell us that it's going to be okay. We want somebody to be like, hey, I get it. I know where you are. And we're going to get there. But today I just need you to do that. And we either want somebody to verbally tell us, or we want to feel that way when we engage and enroll in something, right? And so if you gave a customer a choice and they're like, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months, and I want to use your product, if you gave them the choice of like, yep, buy the product, here's your nutrition plan, here's your workout plan, here's your workouts, I'll see you in 6 months, or yeah, buy the product, we're going to email you every couple of days for 6 months, and we're going to be in this journey with you. Don't worry about losing it. We're going to get you there. We know your goal. We know where we're taking you, and we know that you're going to get there with our support because we're your teammates. Which one do you think they're going to choose? They're going to choose the latter because they feel safe. They get to advocate a lot of that pressure. They get to feel relief and safety on that customer journey with you and with your brand, because not only have you thought about where they're going tomorrow, right? Because they saw you on social media and they committed to buy your product, and they're like, boom, that was step 1. That was their step 1. They're not thinking about how they're 60 pounds lighter. They're thinking about, okay, now what do I got to do? I got to change my schedule. I got to eat clean. I got to move clean. Oh my God, there's 8,000 things I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not going to do any of them. And your job is to come in and have that clarity and that vision to create that container and hold that space for them that allows them to be present where they are and put in the work that's going to actually get them there. And so your job in everything that you do in marketing is to take somebody on a journey from point A to point B. You can do this in a social media post, right? We talk about this with the captain's assessment. When you talk about somebody's before state, their objections, their after state, and their asks, you can do this in one Facebook post, right? You can take an after state and be like, let me guess. You want to be waking up with more energy, working 3 hours less a day, and having 20 minutes of meditation time. Yeah, me too, right? But what gets in the way? Objections, right? Time, 2 kids running in my room, not setting my schedule up, not making it a priority, right? And so what do we end up? We end up right here in our before state, overwhelmed, stressed, wanting something different, but not knowing where to start because we're overwhelmed constantly. And the thought of starting and planning feels harder than it does just maintaining. So now I'm left with frustration and resentment, and I don't know what to do, right? I totally get it. And I've been there too. And so I want to take the thinking out of this for you. So today, all I want you to do is take out a piece of paper and in 5 minutes, just write down where you would like to see yourself in 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. And I want you to do it in under a minute. Just use a couple words to describe it. Use feelings, happy, clear, working 2 hours a day, and then leave it. And then come back tomorrow on social. We're going to get into the next part and leave me a comment when you're done. That's a full journey. I told them where they wanted to go. I related with some objections that were getting in their way. I identified where they were so they could identify, and then I gave them a tangible call to action to put into practice that would move them one step closer to their goal or one step closer wherever they want to go, whatever that thing is, towards clarity or whatever. So it's towards their goal. And so when you truly understand your customers' wants, needs, fears, and objections, then you can design these journeys. Because if you think about it, content without structure and calls to action is just noise. What do I mean by that? If you're out there in your business doing social media marketing, doing email marketing, doing podcasts, doing advertising, doing whatever you do to advertise your business, and you get somebody to stop what they're doing to consume your content or to give you their attention, and all it does is capture their attention for a moment, but doesn't progress them forward, then by default, it regresses them backwards because that was an opportunity that they could have consumed something different or moved forward or drank some water or worked out, and they didn't. And so that is a touch point that is developed with your brand that has somebody remembering, whether consciously or subconsciously, that the last interaction they had with you felt shallow, felt empty, felt unsafe, versus a really simple one where, like, if you're going to post a photo of that recipe, don't just give them the photo, give them the ingredients, give them the directions, and be like, and tag me when you make it. I recommend making it in the next 48 hours, right? Or leave me a comment and let me know when you're going to make it this week and add it to your menu, right? Or you tell somebody the importance of drinking water, right? Well, we can tell somebody the importance of drinking water, but they probably already know that. But they're probably stopped and interested because now they're waiting for you to tell them what to do. Our businesses and our marketing lead people. That's why they follow us. We post because we lead, which means at every moment we are leading, and we need to be leading people forward. So as you think about this, start thinking about in your business, hey, I have this 30-day program and I love it. It's converting really well. All these people are coming in. Well, what happens when they're done? Where do they escalate? Where do they get to the next level? Where do they take the next step, right? Or let's say you sell a physical product, and on average, your physical product lasts 30 days. Well, the default, you're going to be like, yeah, well, they're going to use it for 30 days, and then they're going to buy more. Says who? Not if in that 30 days it solves their problem or it doesn't solve their problem, right? But think about it. Let's say you sell a supplement that helps people sleep better, have a better mood, and more energy. They're probably tilting and leaning in for one of those reasons. And so then after that 30 days, you'll have to know, oh, I should probably produce content on energy and mood to take them on that journey to solve all three. And then when they're done, oh, I should introduce my next product, which is going to help them sleep better, which would be a cross-sell or an upsell. It would be a cross-sell, right? That would help them do it. So now I have a subscription. They have a habit maintained. Or you're like, everybody's buying my product to fix something, right? Because you either have preventative or regenerative, right? And so a lot of people buy supplements for one of those two, or products for one of those two. I have a pain point in my life, and I'm buying your product, your service, or your offering to regenerate that or to fix that, right? But once they hit that journey, it's not over, because now there's more that they must do to prevent it from ever happening again. And it's your job to not only know where your customers are today and where they're going to be tomorrow, but to know where they're going to be next week, a month, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's your job to know where your company is going to be in 100 years. But the only way that you do this is to start thinking through that, right? If you don't have a next logical step in your mind for your customers, there's not one that they can take. And so if you're putting a post up and all you want is engagement on a post, number one, it's not going to get engagement. And number two, they're not going to have that touch point to move forward because you don't even know where they're going to go. And so you need to be thinking about this. You need to be running this through the spectrum. Oh, I'm about to post on social media about water. Oh man, once they start drinking water, what would be the next step? Oh, maybe they can have some sleep hygiene. So tomorrow I'll let them know, or I'll let them know today that tomorrow I'm going to do a story on the 3 tips to help them sleep better so that they can absorb that water correctly and feel better, right? And then you know that after they're drinking water and they're hydrated and then they're sleeping better, that the next step for them is to join your 7-day challenge or to grab your product. But you have to be thinking about these things when you post, because if not, it's just noise. It's just screaming for somebody's attention. And then when they give it to you, not doing anything with it. And so every one of those touch points is an opportunity for you to be moving your customers one step closer to their goals and one step deeper in a relationship with you and your brand. And so I might do like a full episode on this next month. I break this down in the Lighthouse Method course. Like, you guys hear me talk about it all the time. If you're in, you know how amazing it is. If you're not and you just want to check it out, go to www.becomealighthouse.com. And I break this down. I map out the entire journey for you. I take you through all of it. I help you understand the copy, the pain points, the offer, the modalities, i.e. what content to post, to what lead magnet, to what paid product, to what the journey looks like on the back of the paid product. And so it's there, okay? But I want you to understand this. Everything that you do from this point forward, you need to think in every piece of content. Where am I meeting my customers at, which is their before state, right? Meeting them where they are. And where am I taking them from here? And you need to remember, and if you're my age, you'll know this movie, What About Bob? My favorite thing about What About Bob is the biggest takeaway was baby steps. Baby steps. Baby steps. People can't commit to 3 things at once, 6 things at once, 12 things at once. People can commit to 1 thing at a time. People will tell you they can commit to 3, but they won't. Your job should be breaking things down step by step by step and breadcrumbing people into their journey. Breadcrumbing people from social to a lead magnet, to a piece of content, to a product. Breadcrumbing people from an ad to a content to a product. But thinking meticulously through that journey and what it could look like so that no matter what, you can't lose the game. Now, one caveat on this, I'm going to have to do a full episode on this one. I get asked all the time, okay, I have a product, I have an offer, and it converts. How do I scale it and get more buyers? And I think it was Justin Goff who I heard say this or write about this at one point. Like, I'm making 10 sales a day. How do I get 1,000? I'm making 20 a day. How do I get 1,000? If you delivered at the best of your ability, there would be people knocking down your door and begging you to let them sell your products, and you would be kicking people away with a stick. Normally, the difference between 20 products a day or 10 products a day and 1,000 is the completion of the journey so that everybody gets through it, can tell all their friends, and they come in like wildfire, and then other people want to come promote your product. And so when you think about this, you need to ensure that that journey is clear everywhere, in your social content, on your blog content, on your ads, on your lead magnets, on your paid products. If you sell a 30-day program, you sure as shit better have 32 emails. If you sell a 90-day transformation, you better have a 90-day journey designed and the next 90 where they're going to go after that. You need to know. If you're going to plant your flag in the ground and say, I'm a business, I help you do blank, I help you lose weight, I help you feel better from the inside out, I help you double your marketing, I help you with email marketing, pick your business. That means that you need to know where they are and what you're going to help them with in that moment, and then where they are going to go when that part is done. You are proclaiming to be the leader. You are proclaiming to be the lighthouse, which means that you have to understand their journey, where they are, where they want to go, and where they need to go a year from now and 5 years from now before they ever do. And that is a guaranteed way to simplify your marketing and to make every single thing you do intentional and serve a purpose so that you can create the results that you want for them and in turn for your business. And that's how we're going to wrap Wednesday's episode. So I would absolutely love to hear from you about this. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. It's George Bryant. Send me a message on Facebook. Post in the Facebook group. Where in your business, where in your marketing, where in your social, where in your offers, where in your lead magnets, where in your content, where in your product, do you have an opportunity right now to think about where they should be going and then map it out to better serve your customers to achieve their results, which in turn will only help your business and all the new people coming in? I want to know. We'll see if you do it. Take 5 minutes, reflect on it, think about it. Don't overthink it, just think about it. And then every day, make one step better. Every day, add one email. Every day, add one call to action your social posts. But if you listen to this and do nothing, nothing changes. And so that's my challenge for you. So this was another Winning Wednesday episode where your job is to listen. I don't even remember what I said. I had to write this thing down. Hold on. Your job, this is my brain being mushy with no coffee today. Your job is to listen, apply, and implement in that order. So listen to this, write it down, take your notes, come back and listen again if you have to, and apply it. And then keep applying this level of thinking and the clarity that you have every single day to your content and to your customer journey to move the needle forward in your business. So until Friday, which is 2 days from now, and I'll see you in another Free For All Friday. I love you, and remember, relationships will always beat algorithms. Bye-bye.